Motel theft. Police arrest a man who stole from a couple at a Provo motel. See what makes this an unusual case.
New leader. After sorting through more than a dozen applicants, Orem Council finally chooses their new mayor.
Helping exits. New freeway exits in Spanish Fork are confusing drivers, but helping businesses instead. I'm Janae Anderson.
And I'm Lydia DeFranchi. It's Tuesday, October 25th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
This just in, investigators have named Eric and Dia Millerberg as persons of interest in the death of Alexis Rasmussen. Police are still waiting for the autopsy reports before they finalize charges, and the reports could take more than a month to come back. Alexis was babysitting at the Millerbergs the night she disappeared, and we'll get back to you with more information as it comes to our newsroom. A Utah Valley man is now behind bars on charges of robbery and taking advantage of a vulnerable adult. 11 News reporter Alexis Flake is covering the story. Alexis, what's so unusual about this case?
Well, police are saying that the victims only had the mental capacity of 8-year-olds. But according to police records, that didn't stop the man from moving into their motel room and taking advantage of them.
Lynn and Marcy lived in Provo's best motel when they met Christopher Nielsen. The couple are both mentally disabled, and police say that Nielsen moved in with them as a self-proclaimed caregiver. But before they knew it, Lynn and Marcy had nothing.
He took everything they needed to survive for 3 months.
Police say that Nielsen stole the couple's credit cards, ID cards, $3,000 of Social Security, and even 3 months of anti-seizure medication. After running out of food and money, the husband resorted to panhandling, but police say Nielsen took that money from them too. While police records show that service calls to this motel are common, many tenants were unaware that anything was happening in room 7.
We generally stay inside. We don't really associate with the neighbors too much.
Even though the couple says that Nielsen threatened them with a knife if they tried to call the police, they called authorities. Police arrested Nielsen on charges of robbery and exploitation of a vulnerable adult. He is now in the Utah County Jail.
Watch out for the vulnerable. I mean, anybody who would take advantage of a vulnerable adult, I think, is depraved.
Provo police say they're teaming up with motel management to find more solutions to these quality of life problems. One approach they're taking involves going door to door and running search warrants for motel guests.
Well, hopefully they'll be successful with that. Thanks, Alexis. A Far West military man is facing 25 years in prison for accepting more than $1 million in bribes. Jose Mendez admitted he was working for the U.S. Air Force when he conspired to get a Florida couple illegal military equipment for their company. Mendez pleaded guilty to the charges yesterday but won't be sentenced until next February. The Florida couple denied the allegations.
Drivers are now traveling on the state's third diamond interchange. UDOT completed the project Sunday on the Highway 201 and Bangerter interchange. A UDOT spokesperson said traffic is flowing as expected and the diamond has already improved the morning commute. To help with confusion, UDOT posted a video on YouTube so drivers can see how the intersection works. Freeway construction near Spanish Forks affects not only drivers, but local businesses as well. 11 News reporter Kelsey Christensen spoke with members of the community who pointed out both the good and the bad of the new freeway exits.
Freeway construction always brings traffic delays, but for some, the new exits may bring business as well.
Kylie Hawes is a college student who commutes to school and work every day. Her greatest frustration, the ongoing construction and the traffic it brings.
It's really frustrating. All the time for me to get to school and to get back home. Prices are rising, and so extra time spent in the car, stuck in traffic, is pretty frustrating as a student.
A local owner of a Chevron gas station, however, says that for some, the construction may be a blessing in disguise.
It's helped ours because people don't know where to go, and so they stop here and ask us, and so that brings them in here.
Spanish Fork is currently under construction and has been for nearly 2 years. Although the road work isn't new, the new changes are causing confusion for many.
But that does kind of affect us a little bit, just because when they close it, confuses everyone, and
UDOT officials say that workers will widen the freeway from 3 lanes to 5 and will reconstruct both off-ramps.
I think it's hard for someone to get used to construction, but it's been around for so long. It's kind of like you make the extra time to commute because you know that there's going to be traffic no matter where you're traveling to.
But with an end in sight, commuters say the hassle's almost over.
it's a pain, but it will be nice when it's all completed.
Spanish Fork City Mayor Wayne Anderson says the new freeway exits may just be the best Christmas present the community has had in a long time. UDOT estimates they'll finish by December of 2012 and promises safer driving conditions for everyone. Back to you.
Still to come on 11 News at noon, unanimous vote. We'll tell you who the Orem City Council picked to be Orem's new mayor.
And construction planning. What new projects in American Fork wants to start that may improve your commute. We'll be right back.
U.S. Representative Jason Chaffetz is proposing a bill to help pay the federal debt. The bill would put millions of acres of public land with no federal protection up for sale. Chaffetz says this would bring in more than $16 million in Utah alone, but critics of the bill say it would damage outdoor recreation revenue, which returns about $730 billion a year nationwide. U.S. Senator Joseph Lieberman addressed BYU students today. The senator's speech was titled Faith in the Public Square, and he discussed the similarities between his Jewish faith and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
One of the central observances of my faith, and also, of course, of the Mormon faith, is the observance of the Sabbath. To remember the Sabbath day, as the commandment says, to keep it holy.
Senator Lieberman's devotional will be rebroadcasted on BYU TV at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Sunday, November 20th.
The city of Orem has a new mayor to replace Jerry Washburn, who died of cancer last month. 11 News reporter Lizzie Early is in the newsroom to introduce us to the new man in charge.
The Orem City Council came to a decision last night in a special meeting and announced the name of the man who will finish Mayor Washburn's term.
After hours of closed deliberation, the Orem City Council reached a unanimous vote at the city center. James T. Evans is the new mayor of Utah's 5th largest city.
Oh, Mr. Evans has a wealth of experience in leadership both in the private and the public sectors. He has the ability to bring that experience to the benefit of the council and the citizens of the city of Orem.
James Evans served on the city council in the 90s and on the Alpine School Board. When the council announced Evans' name, he was immediately surrounded with cameras and reporters, all wanting to know his plans for the city.
And my goal is to get up to speed as quickly as I can and support the good things that are already happening.
Evans says he loves Orem so much that when he and his wife decided to move, they only moved down the street. Now he'll be moving to this desk for the next 2 years to complete his friend Jerry Washburn's term.
I'm stepping into some shoes that are, and even though I have a size 13 foot, I'm stepping into shoes a lot bigger than that. The shoes of a great man who was well respected in the community, had been in business here for many, many years.
The council received 13 applications. Evans says he applied because he wanted the council to have a variety of applicants and says he comes with a clean slate and no agenda.
Evans is scheduled to be sworn in as mayor tonight at the city council meeting. He will serve as the 19th mayor of Orem. Live in the newsroom, Lizzie Early, 11 News.
And Lizzie, is that meeting open to the public?
Yes, it is. It will be at Orem City Center building at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Lizzie. And another Utah city will be seeing some changes. Provo is getting a new do. Mayor John Curtis is pushing to rebrand Provo to help boost businesses and property value. People can share ideas and concerns for the new logo tonight at 6:30 in the Provo City Library. The rebranding may cost the city as much as $60,000, but the mayor says the change is long overdue.
A new project in American Fork has people buzzing about Utah's favorite topic, road construction. 11 News reporter Ashley Moser was in American Fork this morning and found out how the city plans to handle the roads and the public.
$3.5 million is now in the bank account of a project that will widen the roadways throughout American Fork. The city is adding 2 new lanes to the American Fork's 900 West Street with the hopes of decongesting traffic. City officials say the project will make the busy traffic more bearable.
Now there's substantial delays on 700 North as people wait to turn to go south. Additionally, there are substantial traffic queues which build at the State Street intersection, waiting both to turn well, in all directions, really.
Although the project won't start until April 2012, some American Fork residents are already worried that the project will bring more traffic.
It'll be a little bit congested during construction, but that's the nature of, unfortunately, the way construction projects work.
Funding for the new project will help add a traffic light here at the small intersection. The 2 lanes will widen the street and also help speed up traffic.
We're hoping to have it done by 1st of October. So we think it'll be about a 5-month project, give or take.
The City Council is holding a public meeting tonight to discuss bids for contractors who want to work on the new lanes. The project is expected to start April of 2012 and should be completed by October 1st of that year.
Construction between April and October of next year, and you can visit our website 11news.byu.edu for a link to route maps and construction schedules.
When 11 News at Noon returns, chime time. She might not be a hunchback, but there is somebody playing these BYU bells.
And half-pint homeowners. These kids aren't dealing with tough housing market in these luxury playhouses. We'll explain.
And cooler temperatures are coming. These may not be too far away. Your 11 weather when we return.
So Jake, I kept hearing about how cold it was supposed to be today, but then it felt pretty much the same this morning.
Is that something that's going to last? Is it going to continue throughout the week?
Well, I think it felt the same this morning because of the cloud coverage. That keeps it a little bit warmer, but temperatures aren't going to be like they were yesterday. Yesterday we were in the 70s, and today we're in the 50s, so you might want to get used to these temperatures because we may have seen 70 for the last time this year today, or yesterday, because the cooling temperatures are coming. Cloud coverage is what's keeping it a little bit warmer, but it is going to be in the 50s today, 51 currently right now. Maybe a few degrees warmer as we warm up, a high of 53, so it's going to stay hovering in the 50s. And it's going to be a little bit colder. It's going to be a little bit breezy. That northwest wind that's coming in won't be too strong. It may pick up throughout the day as that storm moves through our state. But you can expect those scattered thunderstorms to last throughout the day. A low of 40 in the 40s tonight, so it is going to get colder tonight. And it could get even a little bit colder than 40. So we are expected to have some freezing temperatures along the Wasatch Front through tonight and maybe into Thursday. So it's time we start thinking about some cold weather prep because it could possibly ruin a few things if you're not ready for it. We have, if you haven't put your swamp cooler away, it is time. Outdoor hoses need to be disconnected and put away, and also sprinkling systems. You don't want that water to freeze and break any pipes, so make sure those are cleaned out before this evening because it could freeze potentially tonight or into the morning all the way through Thursday. And that cold front that has moved into the state mostly hung out around the northern part of the state, so a few scattered showers mostly in Logan. They actually had some snow and rain in the Bear Lake area, and the south actually saw more rain than they're used to. They've had great weather. So the state is kind of cut in half, the colder part of the state being the north, and as that cold front moves all the way through the state, it's going to move into the south. Currently right now across the state, it is 50s, Logan 50, Vernal 56. St. George is hanging on a little bit warmer, 78 today. It is a little bit more breezy down there, and you can expect those temperatures to start dropping even in the south as we look at their 5-day forecast. Tomorrow it's going to be a bit colder, 66 degrees, and colder even at night in the 40s. And through the weekend it's going to start warming up. Not as nice as it was last weekend, but still it's going to be nice and into the 70s. Cooler temperatures in the north that we can expect, especially tomorrow morning, 46. And look at the lows as we look in the evenings, 29 on Thursday. So definitely get ready for those warm temperatures to go away. And it will start warming up as we go into the weekend, but it's not going to be like it was. So.
But not too bad with the sun shining through on the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Nice sunny days, but just a little bit colder.
All right, so. Sounds good. Thanks, Jake. Okay. So the World Series was neck and neck all up until last night.
Yes, and Kelsey has more on how the game went.
That's right, ladies. It was a battle for the Game 5 win, but it came down to something called Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And in this case, it came down to the Cardinals' miscommunication. And there's a little bit of magic that goes on in this bell tower. We'll show you who's behind it. It's all coming up next on Sports.
You've heard the Cougar fight song before, but never from the inside of the bell tower. 11 Sports reporter Rebecca Wowen solved one of the greatest mysteries at BYU. Who's behind the bells?
Someone actually plays the bell tower?
Yes, it's true. Those bells don't play themselves, and it's not a cakewalk to get the chance to play them either. Years of piano, organ, and carillon bell classes are all necessary before one gets to become the hunchback of BYU.
I have had a childish love for the bell tower for a long time.
And all that work just to remain among the unknown.
People have compared it to Cosmo before. It's one thing that I like about it because you're one of the most exposed musicians on campus, and yet no one knows who you are.
But they play for a good reason.
The athletes aren't the only ones working hard for a victory. Carolyn Newers hike 99 steps after every win to play the Cougar fight song.
I love playing the fight song up here because I have always been a huge BYU sports fan, and BYU football and BYU basketball are my favorite thing. Combined with the bell tower is my next favorite thing.
Students on campus appreciate hearing the fight song after a win as well.
Just made it really exciting because it just added a net extra element besides just everyone shouting. It was a fun little extra measure.
It's a great place to walk really late at night with a cute girl.
The bell tower, Rebecca Wowen, 11 News.
The bell tower rings after Cougar victories and has done so for more than 3 decades. It's one of the most well-known bell towers in the United States after playing in the 1993 Bells for Hope. We've seen more than 115 days of the NBA lockout, and it looks like basketball fans may have to wait a little longer to see their favorite players. The New York Daily News says the newest cancellation should come today and will total at least 102 games and run through November 28th. But there's still hope for NBA fans. Right now, the league's Christmas Day games are still a possibility if a decision is made before the last day in November. Napoli ever after. Well, not quite yet, but the Texas Rangers are just 1 game away from taking their first World Series title. Game 5, deep in the heart of Texas, the Cardinals get off to a good start in the top of the second. Yadier Molina with the hit, leaving David Murphy, who can't quite get the ball, out there in the middle of the field. Matt Holliday touches home, putting a score on the board. Cardinals up 1-0. Top 3, Cards up with 2. CJ Wilson versus Holliday. Holliday connects, but Rangers with a double play to end the inning. And the bottom 6, Rangers now down by 1. Adrian Beltre with on the 1-knee swing. I've never seen that before, but it works because Beltre blasts the ball over the fence and ties the game up at 2. Bottom 8, after the Cards struggle to get the double play, the bases are loaded. Mike Napoli answering the call, drives the ball deep to right center and off the wall for the go-ahead 2-run double. Rangers win Game 5, 4-2 in front of their home crowd of more than 50,000 people. Rangers lead the series 3-2 and take on the Cardinals in Game 6 tomorrow night in St. Louis.
So the Rangers must be feeling pretty good going into this next game now.
Yeah, they just have to win the 1 more game and then they'll take the title.
But if they don't win it, it's not the end of the world, right?
Right, they still can play. It's best out of 7, so they still have 1 more chance if they don't win tomorrow night. But
kind of a bummer they can't win in Texas.
Yeah, it will be in St. Louis, so.
All right, thanks, Kelsey. Still to come on 11 News at noon, unreal estate. Tree houses are a thing of the past. We'll show you how the economy is no problem for these little players and their luxury homes. We'll be right back.
There's one accessory some first-class homers won't go without during economic tough times: a separate luxury playhome for the kids. These fancy houses are any child's dream and some lucky 6-year-old's reality. The playhomes come fully equipped with hardwood floors and their own specific line of furniture. Children can even use the services of 15 craftsmen to design their own playhouse. The price tag? Anywhere from $4,000 to $200,000.
Sounds pretty nice.
I know if my apartment looked like that, I would not leave ever.
I know. Well, good for them. That's your 11 News at noon for Tuesday, October 25th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.